What's up? So I'm gonna wait till a few people get on here, then we're gonna talk. What's up, y'all? What's up? What's up? What's going on? We got a lot to talk about. What's up, family? How y'all doing? We got a lot to talk about today. I'm gonna wait till a few more people get up in here so we can talk. What's up? What's up? All right, so I know you guys see the title, right? And I wanted to shoot this video again to bring clarity. I wanted to give you guys a little clarity on what happened last week. I can't even. I'm trying to set this mug straight. All right, how y'all doing? So look, today we're gonna be talking about something specifically, right? And this has been on my mind for the entire week. It's been like 5-6 days ago we had lost trial, right? When we went against the federal government. Y'all hear me? Let me know if y'all hear me in the comments. Y'all hear me? All right, okay, now look. So it's been over 5 to 6 days since we went on trial going against the federal government, right? So I want to bring clarity, right? Because a lot of people and a lot of trolls on the channel, they were saying stuff like, "Oh, you guys still lost the case." Like a lot of people pretty much celebrated. They were saying, "Oh, you got to do more studying on the Second Amendment and everything like that," right? Now, I'm gonna bring clarity to this, right? And I kind of was disappointed a little bit, but I couldn't be mad because I decided to accept the case at the last minute. Like, say, for instance, he was going to trial within under 7 days. Under 7 days from the time I got in contact with his wife, right? Now, imagine, I never got the criminal complaint. I never got the discovery. I never got any of those things, right? Only thing that I had was pretty much the indictment sheet, and it was pretty much talking about what he was being charged with. So a lot of things that was questionable in the case, I had asked his wife. I'm like, it says that, you know, he had a gun. I mean, and he aimed a gun at an individual. She was like, oh, that was somebody homeless or whatever the case might be, right? So she was like, well, he not being charged with that. But I still told her, I'm like, but is what creates probable cause in the case is what led up to the search and seizure of a person's property and everything like that. So comes to find out, now this is not throwing shots at him at all. Come to find out, well, after the trial, he aimed a gun at a homeless man. That's what led up to the police coming on the call because he aimed a gun at a homeless man, right? Now remind you that he was inside of a stolen vehicle. He didn't steal a vehicle, but he was inside of a stolen vehicle. On top of being inside of a stolen vehicle, he was still facing the charge for allegedly, I'm not saying he did, aiming a gun, pointing a gun at the head of an 8-month-old baby. Now, this some baby mama situation, baby mama drama, right? Now, him personally, I don't know if he actually done that. My spirit tell me it can be somebody mad or anything like that. So I personally wouldn't take that to heart. But at the same time, everybody's entitled to their feelings and everything like that. So now, by him fighting these type of charges, right? And then on top of him fighting these kind of charges, what led up to the event was not a clear cold gun case. A clear gun case would be you walking down the street, minding your business, the police pull up on you, search you, and get the gun, and then you fight in the Second Amendment. It wasn't just a Second Amendment case. It wasn't just a flat-out gun case. And I feel like it was unprofessional for me to even accept a case like that, and all the elements were led up to the arrest. It was unprofessional because I know what led up to the arrest. So what led up to the arrest was him aiming a gun at a homeless man, and the search and seizure come when they got him inside of a stolen vehicle. So they telling the jury all of this, and they got proof, but at the same time, they counted their proof, but at the same time, it was what led up to it. So they painted the picture, and they was able to prove that he was somewhat of a violent person. And when they proved that he was a violent person, that's what changed the element from being a Second Amendment case to now he actually guilty because we can prove he a violent person. Everybody judges your nature and your intention, what you're trying to do in life. So pretty much when he went ahead and tried to challenge the Second Amendment, it was a lot of things that he was going through in his case that stuck out to the jury that was valid. You can't. I wouldn't expect. Hold on, let's see something quick. I wouldn't expect me, like, say for instance, my situation, right? I got straighten the camera up, y'all. Damn, y'all still hear me? Alright. I don't know, it's something on my screen, right? So, say for instance, like me, for instance, right? I would not expect to win a trial with all of those elements in a jury, and a prosecutor can pinpoint that I'm a violent person because the nature was wrong. The nature was bad, and for me to say, oh, you just finna win, you finna get a not guilty, people look at all the elements as well, especially when you already subjected to the jurisdiction. So any constitutional claims you trying to make while going to court is pretty much voided. It's pretty much voided. You making a Second Amendment claim, but there's an injured party at stake. Even though the person that come to testify, they got him on camera aiming the gun at the homeless man. They got it on camera. So it wasn't like they were saying something, but they couldn't stick to it. He was homeless. Homeless guy is not showing up to court. He did not show up to court because I don't think he even give a damn about the case. It was probably like a scare tactic, anything like that. But the homeless guy didn't show up to court. So they didn't charge him for aiming a gun at a homeless man. They only charged him for being a felon in possession of a firearm. But what led up to the arrest was him aiming the gun at a homeless man, which they showed the jury. They showed him that at trial. They was like, look at the photos. He aiming his gun at, not the photo, look at the video. He aiming the gun at the homeless man. Now, the homeless man, they see what's going on and everything like that. So the people at White Castle called the police because they see him aim the gun. And then when the police came, they ran a venom in the vehicle. The vehicle came back stolen. So there was 2 red flags to the jury. Even though the argument was great, even though he intellectually killed them in trial, at the same time, those elements right there can pull you back from a not guilty at the same way. And then on top of that, they got a pending case of you aiming a gun at kidnapping an 8-month-old and aiming a gun at an 8-month-old head. Boom. So they thinking, oh, hell no. We're not just finna let him go. Hell no, we're not finna let him go and say not guilty after all of what we heard. So after the trial, right, I spoke to his wife. And I told her, I said, look, I told her I'm gonna be real with you. He lost the case because it wasn't no clear-cut Second Amendment case. It wasn't no clear-cut pistol case like my case was. My case was I got hit by a car when I was on my dirt bike, and I was knocked unconsciously. When I got to the hospital, they asked me where do I live, and I gave it to her. Now, I wasn't in my right state of mind. I almost died that night. And once I gave it to her, I became a subject to the jurisdiction. And when I went to court, I had all evidence against me that I had a pistol, but there was no violent intent. It was no harm that was being done to nobody. So the jury found me not guilty in 10 minutes. When they went to go deliberate it, right, it took them 3 to 4 hours. Anytime it take over 4 hours to deliberate a pistol case, you know you're finna get found guilty. And so the jurors thought long and hard on the case, but the element of violence was there. And that's how they found him guilty. So a lot of people ask me, man, he was found guilty. It wasn't no clear-cut gun case. And I'm going to be 100% fair. It wasn't a clear-cut gun case. It wasn't him just on the street with a gun, got caught, and he challenged the Second Amendment. No, because if that was the case, he might would have won. He's in the state of Kentucky. Everybody, even their grandmamas got guns in Kentucky. It's a Second Amendment state. Yo. Okay, now check this out. So, my bad, my phone had disconnected. I don't know how. But, yeah, so it wasn't no clear-cut gun case. It was not a clear-cut gun case. Clear-cut gun case, like I said, if I get pulled over by a police officer, he searched my vehicle, and I went to jail, right? But in his case, all of those elements is what found him guilty. All of those things were found guilty. Y'all see me? Let me see something. Y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? Okay, cool. Now, yeah, so it wasn't a clear gun case. That's why we lost. And then I told his wife, even though, like I say, I still have some blame in this, because at the end of the day, my reputation plays a role in this as well. So it's not just he take the fall, I take the fall as well. Even though we both took the fall, it's okay. But I just wanted to clarify that on why we lost. That's the reason how we truly lost. And when I told his wife, I told him, I said, well, all these elements, it wouldn't have been possible for him to win so easily. Especially, imagine some of those jurors have kids or anything like that. I don't know the full story. Like I said, it's two sides to every story. But in a case like that, if anything, you should have been arguing something totally different than just the Second Amendment. Because that's not just a Second Amendment case. That wasn't like how my case was. That's not a Second Amendment case. And I lived in Florida. Florida not at all, gun rights state how you think. Because the laws in Florida is very strict compared to Kentucky, where you don't have to have a license to have a firearm. The state of Florida different. And yeah, once he got found guilty, I look back in the case and I'm like, man, what did we do wrong? So every time they'll call me every day, they'll tell me the status update on the trial, but there's a lot of things that they left out, and the shit that they left out was the most important part of the trial. They left out, he had a gun, he aimed a gun at a homeless now aimed a gun at a homeless man, but they mentioned all of that trial, and plus it was a stolen vehicle. The vehicle was stolen. I did not know at all. So when I gave him the defense was excellent for a Second Amendment case. But the elements that circled the trial is what made it worse. And that's crazy. That's crazy, y'all. But I'm going to have to stick with that. We took a loss on that. That's a big loss. We going against the federal government, and we lost. One of the biggest courts in America is the district court, or the United States District Court. And since we lost that case, we got to reclaim ourselves. That was a big case to lose. But for me to accept the case, I feel like I should have did my research deeply on the facts. That's why I tell a lot of you guys, when I want to fight y'all cases, please send me the facts of the case. I'm going to give y'all another scenario, right? It's this Haitian woman, right? She called me. She said her husband been found guilty for felon in possession of ammunition. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, so pretty much she's saying, okay, he has, a driver. He got his own bus, right? So pretty much he drive around rappers from state to state, other music artists, right? So she put it like, the ATF didn't like him because he made a lot of money and he did a lot of stuff, and pretty much The ATF went inside of his office and found bullets. So I'm like, he got found guilty for having bullets in the office. Okay. Come to find out that her husband was a gun smuggler from state to state. I'm like, he was a gun smuggler, and that's what he known for, traveling guns, like wholesale bulk of guns from state to state. And I'm like, you just put it like he got caught with bullets. Like it's just a few bullets he got caught with, like some miscellaneous ammunition. Come to find out he was a gun smuggler. I said, are you serious? Like, you guys have to bring me the facts of the case. Now, I wouldn't even argue. Like, if he's a gun smuggler, he can do what he wants. But I could create a defense for that as well. But you just have to send me all of the facts. And you can't be biased just because they are your family. Just because you family members with them, you got to tell me the ins and outs of the case. Even if it's a case dealing with an injured party. Because all of that stuff is important. Because I need to know all of the elements in the case so we can make a defense to win. I just don't work with constitutional matters. I work with all matters. I don't care if you get caught with a homicide. I can teach you with that. I just need to know the facts of the case so I can help you guys get some remedy. But I won't. And then on top of that, a lot of you guys don't know what certain forms mean. You guys don't know what discovery mean. You guys don't know what, like the facts of the case, like the evidence and all that stuff. You guys don't know how to send me the criminal complaints or nothing. I'm like, how the hell we gonna win this case and we don't even have the facts and the details of the case? I need the details and the facts of the case. Everything that they sent to you, I need to know what they have on you so I can figure out how we can get out this loophole. And like I said, mainly I want to help a lot of people who are in situations where their case just started. A lot of you guys will call me at the last damn minute, and it'd be hard for me to help you guys because you got an attorney that you paid $1 million to, not literally, but I'm just saying, like, you paid thousands and thousands of dollars to. They put up a bullshit defense, and you're about to go to jail. And you contact me at the last minute after you waive your rights, after you didn't stand your ground, after you didn't challenge jurisdiction, and now you want to get to the part of trial, which is a good part as well. Trial is cool, but we have to figure out what's some of the circumstances of the case so we can figure out how to win. She didn't give me full disclosure on a full case. Only thing she did was told me he got caught with a gun. And I was like, okay, he got found with a gun. Let's go ahead and fight. But when I found out all of those things was a part of that trial, I was so amazed that she didn't tell me everything. One second, y'all. I was so amazed that they didn't tell me everything. Yep. That was a wrong day to lose too, because that was a Friday. And then on top of that, the federal government, they don't do parole. So pretty much he got to serve out 85% of his time. He facing 3 to 10 years at 85%. A lot of you guys might say that's not a long time, but at 85%, that's damn near like you're doing the full thing. That's like you're doing a full time, like everything. Y'all want to see where I pick up my meal? That's where I pick my meal up at. That's why I pick my mail up at. You gotta receive mail in the private and everything. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. You gotta receive mail in the private. Can't be receiving mail where you live. It's another thing. You gotta protect yourself at all times. Oh wow. I don't think I got no mail today. Nope, not today.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Oh, I got it. Thank you.
What's up, Mel? How you doing, bro? Peace out, Santa Ring. Yep. Yeah, he gonna appeal. Yeah, we gonna shoot for an appeal. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of his case I didn't know about. Even if they pretty much didn't charge you with it. They just want the gun. They just wanted to charge you with the gun. Because remember, the other cases was really state cases. That's not a federal case. A stolen vehicle is not a federal case, y'all. Aiming a gun at someone is not a federal case. A federal case is a firearm case. That's why he wasn't charged with the others. So the feds dropped everything, and they just wanted the firearm case. They didn't want the part where he pointed a gun at somebody. No, they wanted the real deal. You know, that's what they want, because they got him across the state lines with it, because they said the gun was from out of state. So pretty much him going across state lines is what made it federal. And also him being a convicted felon in possession of that firearm is what makes it federal. Yep. Oh, the baby good, man. Baby real good. How about yours? How about your family? All you needed to do was correct the status. Y'all, I'm gonna tell you this, right? Correcting your status don't have nothing to do with jurisdiction. Because it don't matter. Say, for instance, say if a person correct their status. Me, for instance, I corrected my status. But once I subject myself to their jurisdiction, meaning tap myself in, whatever law that they have within the state, the statutory law, you subject yourself to the statutory jurisdiction. Let me explain to you how jurisdiction works. Jurisdiction, I'm going to break it down in so simple terms. Jurisdiction is lawsuits. So, you know, in order to have a claim against an individual, you must have somewhat of a contract within the means for a person can bring a suit against you, because you have to be, you know, people of the same party. You have to be of the same jurisdiction. So the way they get a lot of people, and the reason why I say it's territorial, all jurisdiction is territorial. You can look at the federal statute, because territorial jurisdiction proves that you reside within the federal United States. That's why when police, say for instance, when police pull me over, they say, "Hey, sir, where do you live?" Because you say, I know a method where you can be a state citizen just with a regular with a regular state ID. If you put your ID at rural free delivery, right? Now, what police going to attempt to do is ask you where you live, because what the police are doing is trying to make a claim on you. Once you get charged for a crime, they making a claim on you. And once they're making a claim, you have to show up to answer that claim. Once you lose a suit, right, which is the lawsuit, would be the case, you will go to jail. Because remember, everything been converted over to commercial. If, say for instance, they can call me in the back of my truck, I can have 1,000 kilos of cocaine, right? But if I'm not a subject of that jurisdiction and I'm outside of the state and federal territories, meaning I don't reside within a state or territories, or I don't have registration within a state territory or anything like that, and they can't find my address, they have to let me go. That's how jurisdiction works. Jurisdiction is all based upon a contractual waiver. So a lot of Moors, right? I know the brother, he said I was attacking Moor. I never attacked Moors, right? They my brothers. But a lot of Moors, they think the nationality was the reason. East Indian can go to jail here. A Chinese man can go to jail here. An African man can go to jail here. Why can they go to jail? Because when they come to America, they claim residency here. Once you claim residency or obtain residency here, if they can prove that, they have jurisdiction over the matter. That's why when you receive mail, I ain't gonna lie, you go right into the post office. Here go the post office right here. You ask them, "Hey, I want to set up mail with you guys through general delivery." Or you can strictly get a P.O. box and get moved outside of their jurisdiction. But also make sure that when you show them registration, that the registration say rural free delivery, non-domestic, so it won't tie you in to the address. So if you somehow don't come to this P.O. box in 2-3 years, they can at least destroy all the mail that came. It's cool. But you want to protect yourself as much as possible. When police go inside of your house, right, say if they want to obtain a search warrant or whatever the case might be, they get the state driver's license and they send it over to the prosecution. Prosecution then take your state driver's license and your records where you live, and guess what they do? They send it over to the judge. The judge say, "Oh, he live here? Okay, we have his ID. We have the driver's license. Proof he live here. Now I can execute the search warrant." Now the police can search warrant the house, because now they have jurisdiction over the matters. Y'all get how jurisdiction work. Why you think I keep mentioning it? The address is what pulls y'all in. It's what pulls y'all in. So, and what's so crazy, this is the thing, I'm finna fuck y'all head up. Y'all think it's something that they forcing on us. No. When I updated my car registration, when I put rural free delivery, non-domestic, that took me out of the territorial jurisdiction. So I'm calling the people at the DMV. Remember, I had to get registration because it was a lien holder on my vehicle, so I didn't do it. The dealer did it, and I took off the registration yesterday. So actually, it should be turned off either today or tomorrow because they had to, they got to go through the whole process. So my ID, I put rural free delivery. So the people at the DMV, when I called them, I said, have you guys got my address? They like my updated address. They were like, yeah, we got your updated address. And she looked at the form like, this your address? I'm like, yeah, rural free delivery, because the DMV is the way give the police the contracts and the means to prove that you have a valid contract within the state is being a residency. That's how you take up residency in the state, when you claim to live within their territorial boundaries. That's why it's so important to know this type of stuff, y'all, because if you really don't know what's going on and you really don't have a clue, then you're going to be a part of the matrix. So yeah, that's what gives people jurisdiction. Now, if people don't believe me, look at every arrest or criminal complaint that comes your way. Man, look, this the people who I really want to talk to. It's his brother, right? It's called Rise of the Moors. I want to talk to them so bad, right? Because the brother, like I know the brother, right? He's very intellectual. Jamal got a registration. He got a registration in the state. And a lot of brothers who Moors, they get their nationality cards with them fictitious addresses on there. So they're like, I'm Moorish American. Here go my Moorish ID. They will show a fictitious United States address. Pull you in jurisdiction automatically. This is what y'all need to be doing. Y'all claim we live in Moroccan. I know y'all say we live in Moroccan. We the Moors. Okay, I agree. Put those addresses as a Moroccan address. Back then, ancient times, whatever, Timbuktu, whatever, any address in our language that you desire. Don't put a United States federal territory address on y'all nationality cards. Tell her, brother, I live in rural free delivery, non-domestic. Put that as my residency. Don't put the other stuff, because when you do that, police just get that. Oh, we got jurisdiction over them. But I'm more. But they don't give a damn. They got jurisdiction. They got territorial jurisdiction. If you guys don't believe me, I just posted territorial jurisdiction and what it means on my community tab. So a lot of Moorish brothers, check that out. Look at what territorial jurisdiction mean and correct y'all nationality cards and correct the addresses on y'all nationality cards. If you wonder why you guys getting arrested, you wonder why the police overstepping. Police is not overstepping. They got a valid claim against you. It's just like people don't see that jurisdiction. They only see the jurisdiction. Point when they claim citizenship. So they basically saying, since I'm not a citizen, that means they don't have jurisdiction over me. That's not true. You got non-residents that come here. You got legal immigrants that come here. You got Chinese people that come here, Vietnamese people that come here, East Indian people come here, Arabic people come here, and they all can get arrested. They took a residency within the United States. That's why if you want to be a national, whatever, or sovereign, it's all about what do you claim to be on a territorial basis. So like I tell my wife, you got to be careful with getting certain state licenses and everything like that, because you want to make sure that you're not residing within a territorial means. So, everything you just got to do private. You got to always put your addresses, rural free delivery, non-domestic, all around. Whether you get a P.O. box, whether you get general delivery, you always live in a republic. You always live in a rural free area. Because rural free area, it represents like a non-incorporated area. Like when you go to the southern states, like you got rural areas. So they mean unincorporated areas. So they don't got a town or a zip code. So that's what you describe and everything, guys. Pretty much a rural area. So when you guys start updating them nationality ID cards like that, it's on. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, but for the most part, that's how they pulling everybody in. That's how they pulling everybody in, y'all. That's how they pulling everybody in. Man, that's how they pulling everybody in. And a lot of people don't understand it. Like, they get to the point where they really don't understand it yet. Y'all gonna understand it after a while, but nobody understands it yet. When I found out about this information, y'all, I didn't find out about this information on YouTube. I looked through the state statutes and found out about the information. It's not, I ain't found out about this information on no guy talking on no monitor. I went to, I searched up Florida statute, and I found, and I was just thinking one day, I'm like, how can they make an arrest on me? And when I looked up acts that subject persons to jurisdiction, and I looked up the federal statutes on criminal lawsuits, all criminal charges are lawsuits, y'all. They are suing y'all, but in order to sue anybody, you gotta have a real claim and a proof that y'all are of the same, are of the same jurisdiction. So if they can't prove that y'all are of the same jurisdiction, they don't have jurisdiction over the matter, so they can't sue you in court. That means bring up criminal charges against the person who operate outside of their jurisdiction. That's why they always want you to update your address every time on your driver's license. That's why the DMV say, hey, update your address. So every time you move to one location to another, they got jurisdiction over that matter. So the police come and kicking in that door every time you move, and you update your ID or address and all that, and they pull you right in. When I show people my passport and my international driver's license that say rural free delivery, they look at me like I'm crazy, but I always do that to protect myself. You always got to protect yourself, man, at all times. At all times, protect yourself, because they making a mockery out of us. If everybody just knew this simple knowledge, they ain't even got to know everything else. You could just know the basic of the basic, and pretty much you would be immune from everything. It's just the average person, they don't know that. And that's one of the most simplest things, how they get you. It's not even complex. It's not even nothing you got to study. You don't even have to have a group session for nothing like this. You don't even have to have a group session, y'all. It's really just common sense. Jurisdiction is really common sense, y'all. It's really common sense. They tell you how they get jurisdiction over you. And you got people who argue with me, and that's the only thing that they use. Every time the police stop me, man, they always ask me, where do I live? Another thing, this is another trick, right? They ask you, man, we can't verify you, right? Because, the passport don't show your status. It don't say, oh, he's a state citizen, he outside of the jurisdiction. What it does is, only thing it does is the Department of State just remove your ID from the file. It's up to you to know the rest. They don't tell you everything, but it's up to you to know the rest. So when you get the state national passport, you would think that it's gonna say, oh, you a state citizen. The police gonna say, oh my God, he's a state citizen, leave him alone. No, they just remove your ID from the file. Once they remove your ID from file, they don't have the address or your transactional file, right? So all of that stuff is excluded. So police have to get your information another way by asking you, hey, sir, you what's your address? Where do you reside? They asked me and my wife, they said, hey, where do you guys currently reside? And I said, we live in the United States of America Republic. He walked the hell away. Then he asked for something else. He's like, man, you gonna got no contact information, email address, phone number? No, we don't have any of that. Because if I tell them anything, they give them some sort of minimum contacts. Boom, pull you in. That's it. That's how they pull you in. So you give them a nationality card. Oh, here you go, right here. Also, I'm Moorish American. They'll say, okay. They're gonna look at the address, pull up your first and last name, arrest, take the car, you in jail. They do that all the time, man. They treat this like a game. And what's so crazy is, once we know their system, that's when the whole system fall over. You ain't gotta have no assembly, 1 million people studying this. This stuff is damn near so simple. If every person just knew how to do this simple stuff, everybody will win. I can teach you the whole jurisdiction in 5 damn minutes. Don't ever give an address. Don't ever subject yourself to the jurisdiction. Get out of contracts with the state. If you in contract with the state, remove the address from all files. Boom. You can get a therapist, like you can be a doctor still. You still can have those professional occupational licenses. You can just say, did you live in a rural free area? My wife, about to be a real estate agent, She already put in for the test. They asked her, the state asked her, what's her residential address? She put rural free delivery, non-domestic, zip code is all zeros. Boom, took her straight out of jurisdiction. They asked her, where does she receive mail? She put a mailing address up. So on her real estate license, it's gonna show rural free delivery, the city non-domestic, and then zip code is gonna be all zeros. So a lot of you brothers who Moors, right? That's how you want to get your nationality cards. A lot of you brothers who practice that we natives, which is true. You want to get those nationality cards addresses corrected, and you also want to get out of state contract. If you work at if you work somewhere where it requires you to have an ID, right? If you don't want to bring your nationality card, get an international driver's license, and you can put that under a rural free area. Because a lot of people work. You still got to take care of your family. So get your international driver's license and put the address as rural free delivery. I got a brother who sent me his international driver's license. I'm gonna ask him, can I post it? But I gotta remove the number because he got one. I got one too. I'll post mine. My bad. I got one too. I just don't use it. I only use that when I buy cars. Now I can buy a car with an international driver's license. Now this is the trick part. Some people say, oh, I can just go in a dealership and apply for it. No, I came in there with a check. I came in there with a drive check already from my original bank. And so once I came there with my drive check from my original bank, they took that instantly. No talk, no nothing. They took that. So when they seen the check, $69,000, they, hey, pleasure to meet you, sir. They was too happy. They seen, they seen a young guy come up in there with a $69,000 check. He finna buy something from the floor. Those type of amounts, you finna buy something from the floor. And I bought something from the floor. I bought the best thing I seen up in there and bought that mud. No talking. And he seen that. He instantly sold me the vehicle. He didn't give a damn what it said rural free delivery. He seen that money, and that's it. After that, he just sold it to me, and that's it. But for the most part, yeah, you want to protect yourself on all avenues. Always operating in the private. Always live in the private. And live in the private, just get out their territorial jurisdiction. Stop claiming that you live in the jurisdiction. And when we tell people our addresses, don't get me wrong, a lot of people do look at us sideways. Like the lady at the DMV, she said, sir, you want to put your real address down? I said, this is my real address. Like they'll give you a little back talk just because they're like, what the hell? Because the DMV is optional. You can tell them you live anywhere. You can tell them you live in space. I'm for real. And what's so crazy is the DMV is what get them jurisdiction over you. When they search when they search the database, right, for records, they don't search nothing but the DMV records. That's all they search. They don't search your birth certificate record. They don't search the Social Security or nothing. Only thing they search is DMV records. Do he have a state ID in the state? If they can prove he have a state ID in the state, we got jurisdiction. Or if he confessed, or if he can confess to an address in the state, we got jurisdiction. Either you can confess or you have one. If you don't have one in the state and the address is not under their jurisdiction, you're gonna be going home. That's just how it works. Though. Like, I live in Providence of Florida, not the state of Florida. That's true. Yes, sir. Yep. We live in the Providence of Florida, the Republic of Florida. Just don't give up the fictitious address. That's how most people go to jail right now. I got so many videos, police just asking me, hey, what's your address? What's your address? What's your address? And they keep asking me that all the time so I can give them jurisdiction. You fool me once, shame on me, but you should fool me again. I mean, you fool me once, shame on you. You fool me again, shame on me. Because I let you fool me. I'm not going to let them fool me again. And they fooled me at the worst time of my life. And I don't know why I fell for it, but I didn't know nothing about how jurisdiction worked. I thought like everybody else. I got my state national passport. How did I get arrested? And then once I found out that, I got away with everything. Police pulled me over, no plates, nothing, 2 guns in the car, nothing. There's nothing they can do. But back then, man, that's why it's growth with this. You want to be glad that a lot of you guys got caught with misdemeanor charges. Like, say, I've seen a few people, no licenses or no registration, no tag, all that small stuff. Y'all can settle that in court and you can be on your sovereign way. But when you get caught with heavy stuff, drugs, like guns, and you are a convicted felon, and you get caught with real stuff, you want to make sure that you all the way on the sovereign side. You all the way on the sovereign side. And this jurisdiction getting exposed so clearly that everybody can understand it. Everybody can interpret it. Everybody can really interpret this jurisdiction like the back of their hand. Man, is this place good? Yeah. So yeah, y'all. That's just how I go, man. Just protect yourself at all times, man. And this is the best advice I can give y'all. There's nothing else besides that. A lot of people ask a lot of questions, y'all. Y'all very curious, and that's why we will have a few classes where you guys can just ask me anything. I'm gonna set something like that up. I might want to do it next week. Just ask me anything regarding, because a lot of people work and all that. They be like, oh, if I work, do I have to update this, update that? Mainly state contracts, the state DMV stuff. Not really like if you work and have a job and they have your address down. No. But you could change your address that they have on file. You can. You know, if you want a clean slate, I have people that want to go with this fully. They want to go with it 100%. And it's possible. You know, and also, having a social security number don't get them jurisdiction. Having a birth certificate don't get them jurisdiction unless you give it to them. They don't have jurisdiction, y'all. I'm trying to tell you. They don't have it unless you give it to them. That's why they ask questions. They don't ask questions to just gather information. They ask questions to gain jurisdiction. Because police, they go through a whole process and learning this stuff. They know what jurisdiction is once they reach 20, 30 years in the force. Now, the lower level functionaries, they don't know nothing. They just know what they've been told. So if they, you know, they sergeant or anything told them, just arrest them, just arrest them. We got his address. Let's just arrest them. Because without jurisdiction, they can't make the charge. They're going to say, we can't file a charge against this person. That means we can't sue them. We cannot get anything from them. So you want to protect yourself from that. So if y'all really want to be in a private, that's what you got to do all the way. You want to be in a private. You want to make sure if you're a felon and have guns, you want to make sure that you protect it at all means, y'all. At all means, at any means, y'all. Y'all want to make sure that y'all are protected. Oh, now I'm finna tell y'all something. A lot of people came to me. They was like, oh, well, the DMV on the online portal, it won't allow me to update my address to Rural Free Delivery. Now, this is what y'all have to do. If y'all have a bank account, whether it be Navy, Federal, Bank of America, anything like that, all you have to do is show them a document from your bank statement, right? You can update your bank statement to Rural Free Delivery. Your city is non-domestic, zip code to all zeros. Bring that statement into the DMV. And once you bring that statement into the DMV, they're going to update your address to that. They're going to be very fucking mad to do that. But once they do that, you should be good. You should be good. That's not proof that you're a state resident at all. And they won't gain jurisdiction over that. Yep. You can do that. And you're going to have it issued out. If you don't feel comfortable going to the DMV, you can do it online. But most of the time, they don't let people put all zeros. Like for me, they let me put Rural Free Delivery, non-domestic, and they didn't let me put all zeros. And the reason why I have a driver's license, or I used to have a driver's license, it's actually about to expire in 5 days, because my license is suspended. So they won't let me close out the file. They said I got to schedule a court date to get it closed. I'm like, what the hell no? I'm going to wait till 5 days. Then once it's expired, that's when I can invalidate it, because it's an expired license. I don't need it. I don't want it. I don't want to touch it. I don't want to smell it or nothing. So I invalidate the state ID, and I'm about to invalidate the driver's license. But the driver's license is under a rural free area. The car registration, which I canceled, is under a rural free area. Now, the title don't have nothing to do with jurisdiction either. The title don't have nothing to do with jurisdiction. The title just show proof of ownership. They get jurisdiction through registration. They don't get it through titles. Unless you have the title and you say, oh, this is my address, because you can have a title for 10, 20 years. Do that mean you still live at that same house? No. You only update the registration address. Yeah. That's how that work, y'all. Yeah, that's how that work. It's free game, man. Free game. Y'all just got to protect yourself and y'all families. You know, stop being fooled by these people. You know, it's not, all this stuff is like criminal law. So it's not even complex, y'all. It's really simple. It's extremely simple. But all right, man, I'm out. I got to go, y'all. I got to go.